Yama everyone. Yama's hello in my grandfather's language, Burrabadee of the Gamilaroi, which is in Western New South Wales. I'd just like to begin by acknowledging that we're on the lands of the Gadigal people. I am a Bidigal Dharawal man with songline ties to the Gadigal lands. I grew up in southwest Sydney, which is a suburb called Liverpool, out the west, as they say. And I also spent many a time here in the city as well, doing a lot of work with the Gadigal and the Eora people. I just would also like to acknowledge our guests, our First Nation guests from around the world, and thank you for taking the time to come here and leave your footprints here in Australia. But also on that note, I'd like to acknowledge all of our global rainbow family for taking the time to come to Australia to help us celebrate our first ever World Pride. It's such a overwhelming experience, especially for us First Nation, because we are actually getting an opportunity to have a voice. Over many historical aspects in this country, we don't get our voice often, so it's an amazing opportunity to be able to do little things like this. May seem tokenistic to some, but have a great significance to us culturally, but also keeps us connected and keeps us grounded and reminds us the lands that we walk upon are very special to us, and that our cultural connection will always be to the lands and the seas. And on that note, I would basically like to leave 3 messages, if I may. My acknowledgement's very quick. I'm not going to, let's get on with the day and can celebrate and hear all from the wonderful people. But I do want to say a couple of things. Now that this is our, for me, this will be the last welcome or acknowledgement by our First Nations representative at a conference. So I would like to leave you with this message. For those who have been on this land and walked across our beaches, our national parks, I just ask one thing: any shells or rocks that you have picked up, if they are not blessed by a First Nations custodian, you must return them back to where you got them. It's essential. Otherwise, you will be ill. It's not a threat, and I can't control how you will get sick, but you will get sick. And it's important that you acknowledge that when we say we're connected to the land, that's every living object that is to the land. Secondly, I would like you to think about this over many historical aspects, as we know that people of colour have played a major role in the voice of our rainbow communities. And there's one thing that constantly bothers me as an Aboriginal gay man with a he, they pronoun, is that your queerness does not absolve your racism. And lastly, congratulations, Washington, on winning the bid in 2025. But please, do not treat your First Nations representatives like decorations. They will play a major role in welcoming all of us international guests into your country, into their country, and it's fundamentally important that they play a role in this space. So please, we are more than an object. We're more than a piece of art, though it all looks fantastic, doesn't it? And we're very proud of our art, and we're very proud of our cultures. So it's important that no matter what little piece you take away, you understand what it means, and that it's done with intention, and that it has a songline and a story that is connected to country. And I do hope that Washington actually take that on board and work with their First Nations people and actually bring them along for the journey and give them a stronger voice and be able to represent their communities in Washington. But I will leave now, but I just wanted to say thank you, welcome, leave your footprints, but please make sure you clean up after yourself when you leave. Thank you.